Long before humans walked the earth, colossal creatures roamed the land, soared through the skies, and ruled the oceans. These ancient beasts, some as tall as buildings and others with teeth the size of your forearm, were the true masters of their time. But what if I told you that some of these creatures were so bizarre, so unimaginably massive, that they defy everything we think we know about the natural world? Picture this, a fossil discovered in Argentina, so immense that it took scientists years to fully excavate and understand, a creature that once shook the ground with every step. This isn't just a story about dinosaurs, it's about the giants, the monsters, and the mysteries of a world that existed long before history was written. Why does this matter? Because these ancient beasts aren't just relics of the past, they're key to understanding how life on Earth evolved, how ecosystems thrived and collapsed, and how the planet itself has transformed over millions of years. What secrets do these ancient giants hold? How did they shape the world we know today? And what can their rise and fall teach us about the future of life on Earth? In this video, we'll dive deep into the most fascinating creatures that ever lived, some you've heard of and others that will leave you in awe. From the skies to the seas, from the familiar to the utterly bizarre, we'll uncover the stories of these prehistoric titans and the mysteries that still surround them. So, buckle up, this is a journey into a world that's as thrilling as it is ancient. Let's begin. Long before humans walked the Earth, our planet was a stage for some of the most extraordinary creatures to ever exist. But how did these ancient beasts come to be? To answer that, we need to travel back over 500 million years to a time known as the Cambrian Explosion. This remarkable period marked a sudden burst of life, where the oceans teemed with bizarre and diverse organisms. It was here, in the swirling depths of ancient seas, that the first threads of life began to weave the tapestry of Earth's most colossal creatures. The Cambrian Explosion wasn't just a moment of biological creativity, it was a revolution. For the first time, life forms developed hard shells, complex eyes, and even rudimentary limbs. These innovations set the stage for a cascade of evolutionary experiments, as species adapted to survive in a world that was constantly changing. Shifting tectonic plates, rising and falling sea levels, and dramatic climate swings all played a role in shaping the path of evolution. Over millions of years, these environmental pressures pushed life to grow larger, stronger, and more specialized. As we move forward in time, the Paleozoic Era emerges as a critical chapter in this story. Known as the Age of Ancient Life, this period saw the rise of early fish, the first land-dwelling vertebrates, and the ancestors of modern amphibians. But it was the Mesozoic Era that truly defined the Age of Giants. Spanning over 180 million years, this era is divided into three iconic periods: the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. Each of these periods brought its own cast of colossal creatures, from towering sauropods to fearsome marine reptiles. Picture Earth during this time, a world of lush forests, vast swamps, and volcanic landscapes. The air was thick with humidity, and the skies were filled with the cries of pterosaurs. Rivers carved through ancient continents, and the oceans were home to predators like the massive Mosasaurus. It was a planet brimming with life, where every niche was filled by creatures that pushed the boundaries of size and strength. And then, emerging from this primordial chaos, came the first true rulers of the planet, the dinosaurs. These magnificent beasts didn't just dominate the land, they reshaped the very ecosystems they inhabited. But how did they rise to such prominence, and what allowed them to reign for so long? That's a story for the next chapter in our journey through the ancient past. Long before humans walked the Earth, the oceans were ruled by colossal predators that made even the fiercest land creatures seem small. Picture a world where the Megalodon, a shark so massive it could swallow a car whole, patrolled the warm, ancient seas, with teeth the size of dinner plates and a bite force estimated to be stronger than that of a Tyrannosaurus rex. This apex predator was the undisputed king of its time. Its sheer size and power allowed it to dominate the waters, preying on whales and other large marine animals with terrifying efficiency. Not far behind in the hierarchy of ancient marine rulers was the Dunkleosteus, a heavily armored fish that looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Unlike the sleek, streamlined Megalodon, Dunkleosteus had a thick, bony exterior and a set of razor-sharp plates instead of traditional teeth. These plates acted like scissors, slicing through prey with incredible precision. Imagine a creature the size of a school bus cruising through the Devonian seas, snapping its jaws with enough force to crush a modern-day submarine. These ancient giants didn't just exist in isolation. They shaped entire ecosystems. The Megalodon's presence kept marine populations in check, ensuring a balance in the food chain. Dunkleosteus, on the other hand, thrived in a world teeming with early fish and other prehistoric sea life, using its brute strength and armor to carve out a niche as one of the most formidable predators of its time. But as awe-inspiring as these creatures were, their reign was not eternal. Over millions of years, the oceans began to change, and so did the creatures within them. The stage was set for a dramatic shift, one that would see life transition from the depths of the sea to the uncharted territories of land. And that's where our journey takes us next, as we explore how these ancient rulers of the sea paved the way for the rise of life on dry ground. Picture a world over 300 million years ago, where the boundary between water and land was far less defined, a place where life teetered on the edge of two worlds. This was the stage for one of evolution's most dramatic acts, the rise of amphibious giants. These creatures, born in the water but daring to venture onto land, were the pioneers of a new frontier. Among them, Amphibious stands out as a prime example of this extraordinary transition. With its sturdy limbs, powerful jaws, and a body built for both swimming and crawling, Amphibious was a master of duality. Its adaptations allowed it to thrive in shallow waters while also hunting on land, a feat that marked a turning point in the history of life on Earth. But how did these early amphibians pull off such a monumental shift? The secret lies in their unique evolutionary toolkit. Over millions of years, their bodies transformed to meet the demands of both environments. Lungs developed to breathe air, limbs grew stronger to support their weight on land, and their skin thickened to retain moisture. These changes weren't just about survival, they were about opportunity. By conquering the land, these creatures unlocked a vast, untapped resource, a world free from aquatic predators and brimming with new food sources. Fossils of Amphibious and its relatives offer a glimpse into this pivotal era. Discoveries in places like Texas and New Mexico reveal creatures with robust skeletons, hinting at their ability to navigate both water and land with ease. These fossils aren't just relics of the past, they're blueprints that show how life adapted to overcome one of its greatest challenges. And while Amphibious may have been one of the first to make this leap, it was far from the last. Its success laid the groundwork for the rise of even more formidable land-dwelling giants, setting the stage for the age of reptiles. As we marvel at these ancient amphibians, it's impossible not to wonder what drove them to leave the safety of the water and venture into the unknown. Perhaps it was curiosity, or maybe it was necessity, a relentless push to survive and thrive in a changing world. Whatever the reason, their boldness changed the course of life on Earth, paving the way for the incredible diversity of creatures that would follow. And with that, the stage was set for the next chapter in this epic story, the rise of the first true rulers of the land. Long before humans walked the Earth, our planet was ruled by creatures of unimaginable scale and power, the dinosaurs. The Mesozoic Era, often called the Age of Reptiles, spanned nearly 180 million years, a time when these colossal beings dominated the land, sea, and sky. Imagine stepping into a world where the ground trembled beneath the footsteps of giants like the Brachiosaurus, its neck stretching high into the canopy to graze on treetops, or the fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex, a predator so formidable it could crush bone with a single bite. Dinosaurs weren't just one type of creature, they were a dazzling array of species, each uniquely adapted to their environment. Some, like the Stegosaurus, were armored herbivores with plates along their backs, while others, like the swift velociraptor, hunted in packs with razor-sharp claws. Their habitats were just as diverse, ranging from lush, swampy jungles to arid deserts, each ecosystem shaped by their presence. These creatures weren't just surviving, they were thriving, evolving into forms that pushed the boundaries of what life could achieve. But dinosaurs weren't just about size and strength. They were complex social animals. Fossil evidence suggests that some species cared for their young, while others migrated across vast distances in search of food. The world they lived in was a delicate balance of predator and prey, of growth and decay, all orchestrated by the rhythms of nature. While the dinosaurs are the stars of the Mesozoic, they weren't the only players in this ancient drama. Sharing their world were other extraordinary creatures, marine reptiles like the Plesiosaur, flying reptiles like the Pteranodon, and even early mammals scurrying in the shadows. These lesser-known beasts were just as fascinating, each carving out their own niche in a world ruled by giants. So, as we marvel at the dinosaurs, let's not forget the other incredible life forms that shared their stage, because the Age of Reptiles was far more complex than we often imagine. As we lift our gaze from the ancient lands and forests, the skies above tell a story just as astonishing, a story of the first vertebrates to conquer the air. Enter the pterosaurs, the flying titans of the Mesozoic era. These creatures weren't just the ancestors of modern birds or bats. They were a unique group of reptiles that evolved powered flight millions of years before anything else took to the skies. Imagine a world where the horizon was dotted with these winged giants, their shadows sweeping across the ground as they soared with grace and precision. Pterosaurs came in all shapes and sizes, but their wingspans were nothing short of breathtaking. Some, like the Quetzalcoatlus, stretched their wings to an incredible 40 feet, roughly the length of a school bus. Picture that for a moment, a creature the size of a small plane gliding effortlessly through the air, hunting for prey or skimming over ancient rivers. Their wings weren't made of feathers like birds, but of a thin, leathery membrane stretched between their elongated fourth finger and their bodies. This design allowed them to be both agile and powerful, capable of sudden bursts of speed or long-distance gliding. But life in the air wasn't without its challenges. Pterosaurs had to master the art of flight while navigating predators, unpredictable weather, and the constant need to find food. Their hunting techniques were as varied as their sizes. Some, like the smaller Rhamphorhynchus, likely snatched fish from the water's surface with their sharp, pointed beaks. Others, like the colossal Quetzalcoatlus, may have stalked the ground like modern storks, using their massive size to intimidate smaller creatures or scavenge for carcasses. Flying wasn't just a way to travel for these creatures, it was a survival strategy that defined their existence. Recent discoveries have shed even more light on these aerial marvels. Fossilized tracks and preserved soft tissues reveal details about their anatomy and behavior, offering glimpses into how they moved, fed, and even raised their young. The Quetzalcoatlus, for instance, has been the subject of intense study, with researchers debating whether it relied more on soaring or running to take off. Its sheer size pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible for flying animals, making it a true wonder of the natural world. To truly grasp the majesty of these creatures, think of them as the dragons of their time, not the fire-breathing beasts of myth, but real-life marvels that ruled the skies with unmatched skill and presence. Their reign lasted for over 150 million years, a testament to their adaptability and evolutionary success. And as we marvel at these airborne giants, let's not forget that the Mesozoic era held even more wonders beneath the waves. In the next section, we'll dive into the world of marine reptiles, creatures that turned the ancient oceans into their hunting grounds. From the long-necked Plesiosaurs to the fearsome Mosasaurs, the seas were just as thrilling as the skies. But for now, let's take one last look at the Pterosaurs, those flying titans that remind us just how extraordinary life on Earth has always been. The ancient oceans of the Mesozoic era were a realm of unimaginable wonder, ruled by creatures that turned the seas into a stage of survival and dominance. Among these were the marine reptiles, evolutionary marvels that thrived in a world vastly different from our own. Take the Ichthyosaur, for example, a creature that looked almost like a dolphin but was far more ancient. With streamlined bodies and powerful tails, they were built for speed, slicing through the water with precision to hunt fish and squid. Their eyes, some of the largest relative to body size of any known animal, suggest they were masters of the deep, hunting in low-light conditions where others would struggle to see. Then there were the Plesiosaurs with their long necks and paddle-like limbs. These reptiles moved through the water with a grace that seems almost alien to us today. Their necks, sometimes stretching to absurd lengths, likely allowed them to ambush prey from a distance, snapping up fish or even smaller marine reptiles with ease. Fossil evidence even suggests some Plesiosaurs may have had live births, a rare adaptation for reptiles that hints at their advanced evolutionary strategies. But perhaps the most fearsome of them all was the Mosasaur. Imagine a creature the size of a school bus with a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth and a body built for power. Mosasaurs were the apex predators of their time, patrolling the oceans with a ferocity that would have made even the largest sharks think twice. Their jaws were capable of crushing bones, and their streamlined bodies allowed them to chase down prey with terrifying speed. Fossils of mosasaurs have been found on nearly every continent, a testament to their global dominance. The stories of these creatures come to life through the fossils they left behind. Take, for instance, the discovery of a nearly complete ichthyosaur skeleton in England, revealing intricate details about its anatomy and lifestyle, or the mosasaur fossils unearthed in Kansas, once an inland sea, that showed these predators were even more adaptable than we once thought. Each discovery peels back another layer of mystery, showing us just how complex and fascinating these ancient ecosystems were. As the Mesozoic era drew to a close, the reign of these marine reptiles came to an end, making way for new creatures to rise. But their legacy lives on in the rocks, the fossils, and the stories we piece together about their lives. And as we leave the oceans behind, we turn our gaze to the skies, where another group of ancient beasts would take center stage, the flying reptiles of the next era. Long before the age of dinosaurs, Earth was a vastly different place, a world dominated by creatures that would eventually give rise to mammals. This was the Permian period, stretching from around 299 million to 252 million years ago. Picture a landscape where massive, sail-backed predators like Dimetrodon roamed the land, their towering spines casting shadows over a planet teeming with life. These synapsids, often mistaken for dinosaurs, were actually the precursors to mammals, and their story is one of the most pivotal in Earth's evolutionary history. Dimetrodon, with its distinctive sail and razor-sharp teeth, was a top predator of its time. But what makes these creatures truly remarkable isn't just their fearsome appearance, it's their place in the grand tapestry of life. Synapsids, including Dimetrodon, are the ancestors of all mammals, including us. Their bodies were built for survival, with adaptations like more efficient jaws and limbs positioned beneath their bodies, allowing for better movement. These features would eventually be passed down through millions of years, shaping the mammals we know today. But the Permian period wasn't just a time of thriving life. It was also the stage for one of the most catastrophic events in Earth's history. Near the end of the Permian, around 252 million years ago, a series of volcanic eruptions triggered what we now call the Permian-Triassic extinction event. This catastrophe wiped out nearly 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial life. Entire ecosystems collapsed and the planet's biodiversity plummeted to an all-time low. It was a reset button for life on Earth, clearing the way for new species to emerge and take center stage. Yet, from the ashes of this devastation, life found a way. The synapsids that survived the Permian extinction would eventually give rise to the first true mammals. These small, unassuming creatures would bide their time, enduring the reign of the dinosaurs before stepping into the spotlight millions of years later. The Permian period, though often overshadowed by the age of dinosaurs, remains a cornerstone of our planet's story, a time when the foundations for modern life were laid and the stage was set for the rise of mammals. When the dust settled after the catastrophic Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, the world was a very different place. The mighty dinosaurs, once the undisputed rulers of the planet, were gone, leaving behind a shattered ecosystem. But nature abhors a vacuum, and in the absence of these colossal creatures, a new group of survivors began to emerge from the shadows: mammals. For millions of years, mammals had lived in the shadow of dinosaurs, small and unassuming, often no larger than a modern-day shrew. But with the dinosaurs out of the picture, these tiny, furry creatures seized their moment. One of the earliest examples of this new wave of mammalian evolution was Reptiles, a dog-sized predator that lived in what is now China. Unlike its smaller relatives, Reptiles was a fierce carnivore, with fossils even showing evidence that it preyed on baby dinosaurs. This was a bold step forward for mammals, proving they could be more than just scavengers hiding in the underbrush. But survival wasn't just about size or ferocity, it was about adaptability. Early mammals developed traits that allowed them to thrive in a post-apocalyptic world. Warm-bloodedness, for example, gave them an edge in fluctuating climates, allowing them to be active day or night. Their ability to nurse their young provided a survival advantage, ensuring that offspring had a better chance of making it to adulthood. Over time, these adaptations set the stage for mammals to diversify and dominate. Fast forward a few million years, and the descendants of these early pioneers had grown into the megafauna of the Cenozoic era. From the towering woolly mammoths to the saber-toothed cats, mammals had become the new rulers of the Earth, but their journey was far from over. As the planet cooled and the Ice Age loomed, another chapter in the story of these ancient beasts was about to unfold. And what a chapter it would be, filled with giants that walked the frozen landscapes, shaping the world as we know it today. Picture a world blanketed in ice, where towering woolly mammoths roamed frozen plains and saber-toothed cats prowled the shadows of icy forests. These Ice Age giants were more than just relics of a bygone era. They were masterpieces of evolution, perfectly adapted to thrive in some of Earth's most extreme environments. Take the woolly mammoth, for example. With its thick, shaggy coat, long curved tusks, and layers of fat insulating its body, this iconic creature was built to endure temperatures that would make most of us shiver just thinking about it. Its tusks weren't just for show either. They were vital tools for digging through snow to reach buried vegetation, a skill that kept these giants alive during the harshest winters. Then there were the saber-toothed cats, the apex predators of their time. With dagger-like canines that could grow up to 7 inches long, these fearsome hunters were perfectly equipped to take down large prey, including young mammoths. Their powerful jaws and muscular bodies made them the ultimate Ice Age assassins, ruling the food chain with precision and ferocity. but not all Ice Age megafauna were predators. The giant ground sloth, for instance, was a gentle giant, using its massive claws to strip leaves from trees and dig for roots. These creatures, though slow-moving, were essential to their ecosystems, shaping the landscape in ways we're only beginning to understand. What's truly remarkable is how these animals didn't just survive, they thrived. Mammoths, for instance, could migrate vast distances in search of food, their social herds providing protection and support. Saber-toothed cats, on the other hand, were solitary hunters relying on stealth and speed to ambush their prey. Each species played a unique role in the delicate balance of Ice Age ecosystems, from shaping vegetation patterns to influencing the behavior of other animals. But as we marvel at their adaptations and dominance, one question lingers: what caused these magnificent creatures to vanish? The mystery of their extinction is a tale of shifting climates, human influence, and perhaps even cosmic events. A story we'll explore as we continue our journey through the ancient past. But what happened to these ancient giants? Why did creatures like the woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed cat, and the giant ground sloth vanish from the earth? The extinction of Ice Age megafauna is one of the most intriguing mysteries in paleontology, and scientists have been piecing together the clues for decades. Two main theories dominate the debate: climate change and human activity. As the Ice Age came to an end, the planet underwent dramatic shifts. Glaciers retreated, temperatures rose, and ecosystems transformed. For megafauna, these changes meant dwindling food sources, loss of habitat, and increased competition. Some species simply couldn't adapt fast enough. But while climate change offers a compelling explanation, it doesn't tell the whole story. Enter humans. Around the same time, early humans were spreading across the globe, and their arrival often coincided with the disappearance of megafauna. Did overhunting play a role? Evidence from archaeological sites suggests that humans hunted these massive creatures, but was it enough to drive them to extinction? Or was it a combination of both factors, human pressure and a changing climate, that sealed their fate? This debate continues to spark controversy among scientists, with each side presenting compelling evidence. What's striking is how this ancient story feels eerily familiar. Could humanity's role in these extinctions serve as a cautionary tale for today? As we grapple with modern issues like habitat destruction and climate change, it's worth reflecting on our impact on the natural world. Were we the architects of these ancient beasts' demise, or were we simply caught in the same web of environmental upheaval? This mystery doesn't just belong to the realm of science, it also lives on in the stories we tell. Legends and myths from cultures around the world often feature larger-than-life creatures that bear a striking resemblance to the megafauna of the past. Could these tales be echoes of a time when humans shared the earth with giants? As we move forward, let's explore how ancient beasts have shaped our collective imagination, bridging the gap between history and mythology. Long before humans walked the earth, tales of colossal creatures wandered through the imaginations of ancient cultures. These stories, passed down through generations, often featured beasts so awe-inspiring that they became the bedrock of mythology itself. Take dragons, for instance, legendary creatures that appear in nearly every corner of the world. From the fire-breathing serpents of European lore to the benevolent, rain-bringing dragons of East Asia, these beings were more than just figments of imagination. Could their origins lie in the discovery of dinosaur fossils? Imagine a farmer in ancient China unearthing the massive bones of a long-dead reptile. Without the tools of modern science, it's easy to see how such a find might inspire tales of dragons soaring through the skies. Then there's the Leviathan, a monstrous sea creature described in ancient Hebrew texts as a serpent of the deep. This beast, often depicted as a symbol of chaos, might have been inspired by encounters with real marine reptiles like the mosasaur, whose fossils have been found in regions once covered by vast oceans. The Leviathan's terrifying presence in mythology reflects humanity's deep-seated fear of the unknown depths of the sea, a fear that persists even today. And who could forget the kraken? This colossal cephalopod, said to drag entire ships into the abyss, might have been born from sightings of giant squids or the fossilized remains of ancient marine predators. Norse sailors braving the treacherous waters of the North Atlantic likely spun tales of the kraken to explain the mysterious disappearances of ships and crews. These stories aren't just relics of the past, they reveal how our ancestors grappled with the natural world around them. By weaving these mythical beasts into their folklore, they gave form to the fears and wonders of a world they were only beginning to understand. But what if I told you that some of these legendary creatures might have roots in real, tangible evidence? In the next section, we'll dive into the fossil record to uncover how the bones of ancient beasts may have shaped these enduring myths. Stay with us, the truth is stranger than fiction. Picture this: a dusty dig site, the sun beating down as paleontologists carefully brush away layers of earth. Suddenly, a bone emerges, not just any bone, but one that tells a story millions of years old. This is the kind of moment that has defined some of the most groundbreaking fossil discoveries in history. Take, for example, the first Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton ever unearthed. Discovered in the early 20th century by Barnum Brown, this colossal predator immediately captured the world's imagination. Its massive skull, dagger-like teeth, and sheer size forced scientists to rethink what they knew about dinosaurs. Suddenly, these weren't just slow, lumbering reptiles. They were dynamic, fearsome predators that once ruled the earth. Then there's the Archaeopteryx, often called the missing link between dinosaurs and birds. Found in Germany in the mid-19th century, this fossil was a revelation. With its feathered wings and reptilian teeth, it provided some of the earliest evidence of how birds evolved from their dinosaur ancestors. Can you imagine the excitement of the scientists who first held that fossil? It was like holding a snapshot of evolution itself, a moment frozen in time that bridged two worlds. These discoveries didn't just fill in gaps in the fossil record, they rewrote the story of life on Earth. Each find brought with it a wave of new questions and possibilities, pushing paleontology forward. But it wasn't just about the fossils themselves, it was about what they represented. They were clues to a world long gone, a world that continues to fascinate us today. And as we've uncovered more of these ancient treasures, we've also developed new ways to study them. From high-resolution imaging to DNA analysis, modern technology has allowed us to peer deeper into the past than ever before. But that's a story for another moment. For now, let's just marvel at these incredible fossils and the stories they tell. The study of ancient beasts has undergone a dramatic transformation, thanks to the incredible advancements in modern technology. Just a few decades ago, scientists relied heavily on physical examination and educated guesses to piece together the lives of these prehistoric creatures. But today, tools like CT scans and three-dimensional modeling have opened up entirely new ways to explore their world. These technologies allow researchers to peer inside fossils without damaging them, revealing intricate details about bone structure, muscle attachments, and even brain cavities. It's like having a time machine that lets us see these animals in ways we never thought possible. Take the case of the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, for instance. Early reconstructions often depicted it as a slow, lumbering predator. But with the help of high-resolution CT scans, scientists discovered that T-Rex had a highly developed inner ear structure, suggesting it was far more agile and capable of rapid movement than previously believed. Similarly, three-dimensional modeling has allowed paleontologists to recreate the movements of ancient beasts, testing theories about how they walked, hunted, or even flew. These tools don't just bring fossils to life, they rewrite the stories we thought we knew about these creatures. one of the most exciting breakthroughs came with the study of fossilized soft tissues. In the past, soft tissues were rarely preserved, leaving gaps in our understanding of ancient biology. But now, advanced imaging techniques have revealed traces of skin, feathers, and even pigment cells in some fossils, giving us a vivid picture of what these animals might have looked like. Imagine being able to see the iridescent feathers of a velociraptor or the textured skin of a massive sauropod. It's as close as we'll ever get to seeing these creatures in the flesh. These technological advancements aren't just about satisfying curiosity. They're reshaping our understanding of how ancient beasts lived and interacted with their environments. By reconstructing their biology, we gain insights into their diets, behaviors, and even their social structures. And as we piece together these details, we're also uncovering clues about the ecosystems they inhabited. Which brings us to the next fascinating chapter in this story, the role these ancient beasts played in shaping the world around them, and how their existence influenced the delicate balance of prehistoric ecosystems. Picture a world where towering predators roamed lush landscapes, their every move rippling through the fragile balance of life around them. Ancient beasts weren't just bystanders in their ecosystems, they were the architects. From the colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex to the gentle giants like Brachiosaurus, each creature played a vital role in shaping the environment they called home. Apex predators, for instance, kept herbivore populations in check, preventing overgrazing and allowing plant life to thrive. Meanwhile, herbivores themselves acted as ecosystem engineers, their feeding habits shaping the very structure of forests and plains. Take the case of the mighty T-Rex. As one of the most fearsome predators of its time, its presence alone would have sent shockwaves through the food chain. Prey species had to evolve faster, smarter, or stronger to survive, driving an evolutionary arms race that shaped the diversity of life in the late Cretaceous. On the flip side, herbivores like Triceratops or Ankylosaurus didn't just graze, they transformed entire landscapes. Their constant foraging created open spaces, allowing sunlight to reach the forest floor and fostering the growth of new plant species. But it wasn't just about predator and prey. These ancient beasts influenced everything from soil composition to water cycles. The massive footprints of sauropods, for example, could create temporary ponds that became habitats for smaller creatures. Even their dung played a role, recycling nutrients back into the soil and supporting the growth of vegetation. Every action, every interaction wove a complex web of life that sustained ecosystems for millions of years. And yet, these ecosystems weren't static. As species evolved, adapted, or went extinct, the balance shifted, creating new opportunities and challenges for the creatures that remained. This ever-changing dance of life is what made ancient ecosystems so dynamic and so fascinating. But what happened when these ancient beasts disappeared? Their legacy didn't vanish with them. The next chapter of our journey will explore how these creatures left an indelible mark on the world, influencing the course of evolution long after they were gone. Long after their extinction, the ancient beasts that once roamed our planet continue to shape the world we live in today. Their legacy is etched not just in fossils and ancient rock layers, but in the very fabric of life itself. Modern ecosystems, from sprawling forests to vast oceans, bear the marks of their influence. Many of the animals we share the Earth with today owe their existence, or at least their traits, to the evolutionary paths carved out by these prehistoric giants. Think about the mighty elephant, for instance. Its lineage can be traced back to creatures like the woolly mammoth, which once dominated icy landscapes. Even the humblest of birds can trace their ancestry to the theropod dinosaurs, the fierce predators of the Mesozoic era. But it's not just about individual species. The disappearance of these ancient beasts created opportunities for other life forms to flourish. When the dinosaurs vanished, mammals began to thrive, eventually leading to the diverse array of creatures we see today, including us. This shift in dominance reveals a fascinating truth. Extinction, while tragic, often opens the door for new life to emerge and adapt. It's a cycle that has repeated throughout Earth's history, reminding us of the planet's incredible resilience and capacity for renewal. What can we learn from these ancient creatures? Perhaps it's a lesson in adaptability, how life finds a way to survive and evolve, even in the face of catastrophic change. Or maybe it's a reminder of our own place in the grand tapestry of life, humbling us to consider how fleeting our time on Earth might be in the grand scheme of things. Reflecting on these ancient beasts invites us to think about the future too. How will the decisions we make today shape the world for generations to come? As we marvel at the enduring impact of these ancient beings, it's worth considering how they've also shaped something far more intangible, our culture and imagination. From myths and legends to modern-day media, their presence continues to captivate us, but that's a story for another time. From the depths of our collective imagination, ancient beasts have clawed their way into the heart of popular culture, leaving an indelible mark on how we envision the prehistoric world. Think about it. When you picture a Tyrannosaurus Rex, does your mind conjure up a scientific illustration, or does it immediately flash to the towering, thunderous predator from Jurassic Park? That's the power of storytelling. Movies, books, and art have transformed these long-extinct creatures into vivid, larger-than-life icons, shaping not just our entertainment but also our understanding of their existence. Take Jurassic Park, for instance, a cultural phenomenon that redefined how we see dinosaurs. Steven Spielberg's groundbreaking film didn't just bring these creatures back to life, it made them feel real, terrifying, and awe-inspiring. The T-Rex's roar, the Velociraptor's cunning intelligence, the sheer scale of the Brachiosaurus, these aren't just cinematic moments. They're windows into a world we can only imagine, crafted with such care that they've become the standard for how we think about these ancient beasts. But it's not just Hollywood. Literature, too, has played a pivotal role. From Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth to modern novels like Raptor Red, authors have used these creatures to explore themes of survival, evolution, and humanity's place in the natural world. Art has also been a powerful medium, with painters and sculptors bringing prehistoric life to the canvas and gallery. Think of the dramatic, almost mythic depictions of dinosaurs in the works of Charles R. Knight, whose paintings in the early 20th century shaped how generations visualized these animals. His art wasn't just scientifically informed, it was emotionally charged, blending accuracy with a sense of wonder that continues to inspire paleoartists today. Even in video games, ancient beasts have found a new frontier. Titles like Ark, Survival Evolved let players interact with these creatures in immersive, fantastical ways, blending education with entertainment. These portrayals do more than entertain, they shape our understanding of prehistoric life. They spark curiosity, fuel debates, and sometimes even influence scientific inquiry. For example, the velociraptors in Jurassic Park were based on the larger Deinonychus, but their depiction led to a surge in public interest in these predators, driving more research and discoveries. In a way, popular culture and science are in a constant dance, each influencing the other. But as much as we've learned from these depictions, they've also left us with questions. How accurate are these portrayals? Could we ever truly recreate the sounds, movements, and behaviors of creatures that vanished millions of years ago? These questions aren't just for filmmakers or artists, they're for scientists too. And as we look to the future of paleontology, new technologies and discoveries promise to bring us even closer to understanding these ancient beasts, blurring the line between science and imagination. What might we uncover next? The answers could reshape not just our knowledge, but how we see ourselves in the grand tapestry of life on Earth. The field of paleontology is on the brink of a revolution, and the secrets of ancient beasts are closer than ever to being unraveled. With advancements in technology and innovative research methods, scientists are uncovering clues about these prehistoric creatures that were once thought to be lost to time. Imagine the possibilities. From DNA analysis to high-resolution imaging, the tools at our disposal are transforming how we understand the lives of animals that roamed the Earth millions of years ago. But what does the future hold, and what mysteries are still waiting to be solved? One of the most exciting developments is the use of cutting-edge imaging techniques. For example, synchrotron scanning allows researchers to peer inside fossils without damaging them, revealing intricate details like bone structure, muscle attachments, and even traces of soft tissue. This technology has already shed light on how some ancient predators hunted or how their bodies evolved to survive in harsh environments, and it's only the beginning. As these tools become more advanced, we may soon uncover even more about the behavior, diet, and physiology of creatures that have long fascinated us. Then there's the groundbreaking work being done with ancient DNA. While extracting genetic material from fossils is incredibly challenging, scientists are making strides in sequencing fragments of DNA from species like mammoths and cave bears. This could one day help us piece together entire genomes, offering a glimpse into the genetic makeup of extinct animals and even their evolutionary relationships with modern species. Could we someday reconstruct the DNA of a Tyrannosaurus rex? It's a tantalizing question that pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible. But with these advancements come new questions. What secrets are still buried beneath the Earth's surface? How many species have we yet to discover? And what can these ancient beasts teach us about the planet's past and its future? As we continue to explore, we're reminded that every fossil tells a story, and every discovery brings us closer to understanding the incredible diversity of life that once thrived on Earth. As we marvel at these technological breakthroughs, it's also worth considering the ethical implications of studying ancient beasts. How should we approach the excavation and preservation of fossils? What responsibilities do we have to the ecosystems and communities where these discoveries are made? These questions lead us into the next chapter of our exploration, where we'll examine the moral dimensions of paleontology and what it means to unlock the secrets of the past. But what happens when the pursuit of ancient beasts collides with modern ethical dilemmas? The study of fossils isn't just about uncovering the past, it's also about navigating complex questions of ownership, cultural heritage, and the responsibilities we have as stewards of these ancient treasures. Take, for example, the debate over who truly owns a fossil. Is it the country where it was discovered, the scientists who study it, or the private collectors who often fund the excavations? These aren't just academic questions, they're real-world issues that can spark international disputes and even legal battles. Then there's the question of cultural heritage. In some regions, fossils are deeply tied to local traditions and beliefs, making their removal a sensitive issue. For indigenous communities, these remains might hold spiritual significance, and taking them away can feel like erasing a piece of their history. On the other hand, scientists argue that studying fossils in controlled environments can unlock invaluable knowledge about our planet's past. So, where do we draw the line between scientific progress and cultural respect? And let's not forget the impact of commercial fossil hunting. While the sale of fossils can fund important research and preservation efforts, it also raises concerns about exploitation and the loss of irreplaceable specimens to private collections, where they may never be studied or shared with the public. This raises a bigger question. Should fossils be treated as commodities, or are they part of a shared global heritage that belongs to everyone? As we grapple with these ethical challenges, one thing becomes clear. The story of ancient beasts isn't just about what they were, it's also about how we choose to honor and learn from them today. And speaking of learning, these fossils have a powerful role to play in shaping the minds of future generations, which leads us to our next chapter: how ancient beasts are inspiring education and sparking curiosity in ways we never imagined. Ancient beasts have long been a gateway to wonder, and today, they're playing a vital role in inspiring the next generation of scientists. Picture a classroom where students aren't just reading about dinosaurs or mammoths in textbooks, they're holding replicas of fossils, piecing together the mysteries of prehistoric life, and imagining the world as it once was. These ancient creatures have a unique way of sparking curiosity, making complex scientific concepts feel tangible and exciting. For educators, prehistoric animals are more than just fascinating subjects, they're powerful tools for teaching. Programs like museum-led fossil digs or interactive exhibits allow students to step into the shoes of paleontologists, uncovering clues about Earth's distant past. Imagine the thrill of a young learner discovering how a T-Rex's teeth reveal its diet, or how a woolly mammoth's tusks tell stories of survival in icy environments. These hands-on experiences don't just teach science, they ignite a passion for exploration and discovery. Initiatives like the Dinosaur Institute at the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles or the Smithsonian's fossil-based curriculum are prime examples of how ancient beasts are shaping education. They don't just focus on the what of these creatures, they delve into the why and how, encouraging students to think critically about evolution, adaptation, and the interconnectedness of life. And it's not just about paleontology. These programs often weave in lessons about geology, biology, and even climate science, showing students how the past informs our understanding of the present. But the impact goes beyond the classroom. By bringing these ancient worlds to life, educators are nurturing a sense of awe and responsibility in young minds. They're not just learning about extinct species, they're being challenged to think about the fragility of ecosystems and the importance of preserving our planet's biodiversity. And that curiosity, that spark of wonder, doesn't fade when the lesson ends. It grows, inspiring future scientists to explore, question, and innovate. Speaking of the planet, the story of these ancient beasts isn't just about what lived, it's also about what changed. Their rise and fall are deeply intertwined with Earth's shifting climates, offering clues about how life adapts or doesn't to environmental challenges. And that brings us to our next chapter: how these prehistoric giants hold the key to understanding the connection between ancient worlds and the climate changes we face today. Long before humans walked the Earth, our planet was shaped by forces far beyond our control, forces that ancient beasts navigated with extraordinary resilience. These creatures, from towering dinosaurs to massive marine reptiles, lived through dramatic shifts in climate, offering us a window into how ecosystems respond to change. By studying their adaptations, we can uncover vital lessons about survival, resilience, and the delicate balance of life on Earth. Take, for example, the late Cretaceous period, when the planet experienced extreme temperature fluctuations. The mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex and its contemporaries faced a world that swung between scorching heat and sudden cooling spells. Fossil evidence suggests that some species migrated vast distances to follow their preferred climates, while others evolved physical traits to cope, like thicker fur or specialized diets. These adaptations weren't just about survival, they were about thriving in the face of uncertainty. But what does this mean for us today? As we grapple with modern climate change, the stories of these ancient beasts remind us that ecosystems are both fragile and resilient. They show us that life finds a way, but only if given the chance. Could the way prehistoric creatures adapted to environmental shifts hold clues for how we might protect today's endangered species? And what might their struggles teach us about preserving the delicate balance of our own ecosystems? These questions aren't just academic, they are urgent. As we look to the past, we see a roadmap for the future, one where understanding the natural world's adaptability could be the key to our survival. And speaking of survival, the lessons we learn from these ancient giants don't just apply to the past, they can also inspire modern conservation efforts, a topic we'll explore next. The story of Earth's ancient beasts isn't just a tale of the past, it's a lesson for the present. By studying the creatures that once ruled our planet, scientists are uncovering vital clues about how to protect the giants of today. From the towering mammoths of the Ice Age to the colossal dinosaurs of the Mesozoic, many of these ancient animals faced extinction due to shifting climates, habitat loss, and even human activity. Sound familiar? These same challenges threaten modern megafauna like elephants, rhinos, and whales. Paleontology isn't just about digging up bones, it's about understanding the patterns of life and extinction so we can break the cycle. Take the woolly mammoth, for example. This iconic Ice Age giant vanished around 4,000 years ago, likely due to a combination of climate change and overhunting by early humans. Today, elephants face eerily similar pressures, with poaching and habitat destruction pushing them toward the brink. But here's the hopeful part. Paleontologists and conservationists are working together to turn the tide. In Siberia, scientists are even exploring the possibility of de-extincting the mammoth to restore Arctic ecosystems. While controversial, this bold idea shows how the study of ancient life can inspire innovative solutions for modern conservation. Another fascinating example comes from the oceans. Megalodon, the colossal shark that once prowled the seas, disappeared millions of years ago, possibly due to changes in prey availability and ocean temperatures. Fast forward to today, and great white sharks face similar threats from overfishing and climate change. By studying the fossil record, researchers can predict how modern marine giants might respond to current environmental shifts, helping shape more effective protection strategies. The parallels between prehistoric extinctions and modern challenges are impossible to ignore, but the story doesn't end there. Conservationists are using paleontology as a roadmap, learning from the past to safeguard the future. Projects like reintroducing species to restore ecosystems are directly inspired by the way ancient beasts shaped their environments. It's a powerful reminder that the past isn't just a collection of dusty fossils. It's a living guidebook for preserving the wonders of our natural world. And yet, for all we've learned, there are still so many mysteries waiting to be uncovered. What caused the sudden disappearance of the dinosaurs? Were there other ancient giants we've yet to discover? These questions remind us that the story of Earth's ancient beasts is still being written, and every discovery brings us closer to understanding the incredible tapestry of life on our planet. Imagine gazing at a fossilized bone, one that hints at a creature so strange, so unlike anything we know today, that it defies easy explanation. This is the world of ancient beasts, a realm filled with mysteries that continue to baffle even the brightest minds in paleontology. Take, for instance, the Spinosaurus. Despite decades of study, scientists still can't agree on what this massive predator truly looked like. Was it a sleek, crocodile-like swimmer or a towering, land-based hunter? The fossils tell conflicting stories, leaving us with more questions than answers. And then there's the enigma of the Megalodon. We know it was the largest shark to ever exist, but what caused this oceanic giant to vanish from the seas? Some theories point to climate change, while others suggest competition for food. Yet, no single explanation fully satisfies the curiosity of researchers or the public. These unresolved debates remind us that the story of ancient beasts is far from complete. Even more puzzling are creatures like the Hallucigenia, a bizarre, worm-like organism from the Cambrian period. For years, scientists couldn't even figure out which end was its head and which was its tail. While recent discoveries have shed some light, the true nature of this ancient oddity remains elusive. What was its purpose? How did it live? These questions linger, inviting us to piece together the puzzle of a world long gone. As we ponder these mysteries, it's worth asking, could the answers lie in fossils we haven't yet discovered, or perhaps in new technologies that allow us to see the past in ways we never thought possible? The study of ancient beasts is as much about imagination as it is about science, a dance between what we know and what we can only dream of uncovering. And speaking of uncovering, what about the people behind these discoveries? The next part of our journey takes us into the lives of the paleontologists who dedicate their careers to solving these riddles. Their stories are filled with triumphs, setbacks, and moments of sheer wonder because in the search for answers, it's not just about the beasts themselves, but the passion that drives us to understand them. Picture this, a team of paleontologists knee-deep in mud under the scorching sun, brushing away layers of sediment with the precision of a surgeon. Every swipe of their tools could reveal something extraordinary, a fossil that hasn't seen the light of day in millions of years. This isn't just science, it's a kind of time travel. Behind every ancient bone or tooth lies a story, not just of the creature it belonged to, but of the people who unearthed it. Take Dr. Emily Carter, for example. She spent years in the deserts of Mongolia, braving sandstorms and scorching heat, all for the chance to uncover the remains of a velociraptor. One day, after weeks of fruitless digging, her team stumbled upon a nearly complete skeleton. It wasn't just a career-defining moment, it was a window into a world long gone. But the journey wasn't glamorous. Nights were spent in cramped tents, meals were often canned, and the thrill of discovery was always shadowed by the grueling physical demands of the work. Then there's Dr. James Nakamura, who spent decades studying marine reptiles in remote corners of Alaska. His work often meant diving into icy waters, battling the cold while searching for the fossilized remains of ancient predators like the mosasaur. For him, the challenge wasn't just the environment, it was the patience required. Fossil hunting is a waiting game where years of effort might yield nothing or everything. And yet, as Nakamura often says, every fragment you find is a piece of the puzzle, a clue to a world we can only dream of. These stories aren't just about the fossils, they're about the people who dedicate their lives to uncovering them. The work is tough, often thankless, but the rewards are immeasurable. Imagine holding a bone that belonged to a creature that walked the earth 65 million years ago. It's a connection to a time so distant it's almost incomprehensible, and for these scientists that connection is worth every hardship. What drives them isn't just curiosity, but a deep respect for the past and a desire to share its mysteries with the world. Their work reminds us that science isn't just about facts and figures, it's about stories. Stories of survival, extinction, and discovery. Stories that bridge the gap between the ancient and the modern, reminding us of our place in the grand tapestry of life. As we near the end of our journey into the world of ancient beasts, it's worth pausing to reflect on the incredible efforts of those who bring these creatures back to life, piece by piece. Their dedication doesn't just illuminate the past, it inspires us to look at our world with a sense of wonder and possibility. Because in the end, the stories of these ancient beasts aren't just about what once was there, about what we can still discover, and the mysteries that await us just beneath the surface. As we reach the end of our journey through the world of ancient beasts, it's worth pausing to reflect on the incredible stories these creatures have left behind. From the towering predators that once roamed the primordial forests to the massive sea dwellers that ruled the ancient oceans, these beings were the undisputed rulers of their time. They shaped the ecosystems of their eras, leaving behind clues that help us piece together the puzzle of Earth's distant past. Studying these ancient beasts isn't just about marveling at their size or ferocity. It's about understanding the cycles of life, extinction, and evolution that have shaped our planet. These creatures teach us about resilience, adaptation, and the delicate balance of nature. They remind us that life on Earth is constantly changing, and that even the mightiest rulers of the natural world are not immune to the forces of time. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of these ancient beasts is their legacy. Their fossils, preserved over millions of years, serve as a window into a world we can only imagine. They inspire us to ask questions, to explore, and to keep seeking answers about the history of life on our planet. As we close this chapter, let's remember the words of the great naturalist Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. The ancient beasts may be gone, but their stories live on, urging us to learn from the past as we look toward the future. If you've enjoyed unraveling the mysteries of these incredible creatures, don't forget to explore more with us. Subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know which ancient beast fascinates you the most. Together, we'll keep digging into the wonders of our planet's history, one discovery at a time. Thanks for joining us on this adventure, and until next time, stay curious.